This is Eastern North Carolina's longest-running sports radio call-in show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show on Pirate Radio is brought to you by
Angus Grill, Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, The Gavigan Agency, Greenville Auto World, Papa John's, Pepsi, Seared Chop House, Taft and Hagler, Tiebreakers, PMS Builders, and The Rick House.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome in on this Victory Monday for East Carolina. We've got a great hour for you planned coming up. Head coach Ruffin McNeill, the former Pirate coach, now headed to the East Carolina Hall of Fame. He's now at NC State as a special assistant to the head coach. He's going to join us to talk about his days at East Carolina, what his thoughts are about making it to the Hall of Fame, and of course that big win for NC State from over the weekend over 9th-ranked Clemson. That's in the first half hour of our show. The back half hour, Steve Ellis, quarterbacks coach at East Carolina. His player Jaquan McMillan has had some kind of couple of weeks for this East Carolina Pirate defense. Pirates now 2-2 on the year with Tulane coming to town. So we'll talk with Coach Ellis about that. But Coach Ruff kicks us off on the Brian Bailey Show, and that's coming up for you right after this.
The Rick House, Eastern North Carolina's premier American-style restaurant and bourbon bar, has great specials throughout the week, like $10 Tuesdays. Get 8 traditional wings and a draft beer for just $10. Wednesday night is date night, 2 salads, an appetizer, a bottle of wine, 2 entrees, and a dessert for just $55. Friday is smokehouse night with the best ribs and brisket around. Saturday is Italian night, featuring all of our made-from-scratch pastas along with 2 glasses of wine. And on Sunday is the legendary brunch from 10 to 2. The Rick House, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
It's bow time. We put a whole lot of love into a Bojangles sausage and egg biscuit bundle of joy. First, we coddle our fluffy scratch biscuits until they're softer than an only child. Then we shower sausage patties with bold seasoning and genuine compliments. And finally, we tuck that food baby into a warm blanket of fluffy egg. Get 2 sausage and egg biscuits for just $4. 'Cause if it's breakfast time, it's bow time.
I'm on site at the Gavigan Agency with commercial insurance specialist Nathan Brannon. Nathan, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do with the Gavigan Agency.
Great to talk with you, Brian. I'm a graduate of East Carolina University and a proud Pirate. As you mentioned, I'm a commercial insurance agent for the Gavigan Agency and specialize in offering general liability, commercial property, business auto, and workers' compensation insurance to independent contractors, small business owners, and larger commercial customers throughout Eastern North Carolina.
Wow, sounds like the Gavigan Agency can provide just about any coverage a business owner may need.
That's right, Brian. The Gavigan Agency is a fully independent insurance agency with access to the top insurance carriers in the region, and we offer a full host of insurance products to provide for our customers' personal and business insurance needs.
So give the Gavigan Agency a call today and let them show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
Pirates, insuring pirates. Arrgh.
It's the American Athletic Conference opener for the Pirates as Tulane comes a-calling for homecoming. Tickets start as low as $35. It's the Pirates and the Green Wave in a 3:30 kickoff. It's time to get rowdy and dowdy. East Carolina and Tulane to kick off the American Athletic Conference schedule.
You can paint this with purple.
Pirate Radio.
You know, I think this is a pretty blue-collar, tough, hard-nosed fan base, and that's where our teams are going to be.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back to our show on this Victory Monday for East Carolina. Also a Victory Monday for North Carolina State. Their special assistant to the head coach is former East Carolina coach Ruffin McNeill, who is one of the newest members of the East Carolina Hall of Fame, and he joins us today from Raleigh. Coach Ruff, how are you today?
BB, long time, brother. How you doing?
It has been a long time. You doing okay?
Yes, sir. I'm doing good. Everything good for you?
Yeah, everything's great. Everything's great. Had the family in this weekend for tailgating and stuff, and went to the game. And Pirates got a win. You know how the town is when the Pirates get a victory, even if it's an ugly victory, it was still a victory. And so you got to count your blessings and keep on going.
Well, wins are hard. You've been in a long time, and I think everybody needs to realize that. Players a lot of times, and the word ugly win, I've never seen that one word in dictionary, BB. I've seen ugly and I've seen win, but ugly win, one word, I haven't seen that one, brother.
Yeah, I think you're right. As always.
And get out of there, man. But yeah, man, it's good to hear your voice, brother, as always.
It's good to hear your voice. All right, what are your emotions like when you first found out? What were they like when you first found out that, hey, you're going to be inducted into the East Carolina Hall of Fame?
Humbled, honored. First thing that came to mind, BB, was, and you've been around me a long time, my family first, last, and always thought. You've heard me say that. Also, with the definition of team is we, us, and ours. And when it was announced and called, I was called, and it was we, us, and ours around this whole award and honor. Not awards are given for like this, or honors are given like this, in my opinion and my experience and knowledge, is because of a group of we, a group of us, and a group of ours. So first thing came to me is thank you, but this belongs to a lot of people, a lot of names on this one.
There is a lot of names, and I want to give you some information. I don't know if you know this or not, but he's a good friend of yours as well. But Brian Meador is one of the guys, and you may have gotten many nominations, but I know that he was one of the ones to nominate you because I read through the letter and helped tweak it a little bit. But and what he put in his letter, which is so true, is that not only on the field did you deserve to get in the Hall of Fame, but off the field with everything that you did in the community. And I can tell you firsthand how many times that I've emceed an event and Coach Ruff would be there, would be a speaker there. I remember, I think it was with Riley's Army, if I'm not mistaken. That's the first time I ever heard you use the phrase, you're better three quarters. Because I was with Melissa, and everybody says, that's my better half, that's my better half. And so I look over, and you look over, and you go, that's his better three quarters. I was like, what's he talking about? And then I got the joke after that, and you're exactly right. But just all the things you did, off the field, I mean, that means a lot to everybody in the community.
Well, first of all, you and B. Meade, and I think we've had some great experiences together, and B. Meade is a great one, just like you are, and I thank B. Meade for the letter and you tinkering with it and making it right. I really appreciate that beyond belief. I can't thank you both enough, and thank B. Meade. Love you guys. But off the field, I think I give a lot of credit, this BB, to my mom and dad, Bonnie and Ruffin McNeill. They taught me the definition of service. And service is the rent we pay for the privilege to live on this earth. That's a quote by Shirley Chisholm. And I really believe that. My brother and I were taught that very early, is to serve and to give back. And with responsibility comes even more need of service. So I remember us serving a lot of things together, from Special Olympics to Riley's Army to some other things you and I were both on. We saw each other a lot away from sports, which I thought was built our relationship, BB. And but service and giving back are major for me, our family, Erlene, and my girls even right now is giving back. So I appreciate that, and I'm honored to be able to have the ability and the platform to serve.
And I want to give, Meador did a great job with the letter. It was very touching, and I did very little to help him out with it. So I want to make sure he gets all the credit for that. But it was really, really just well written from the heart. And I think that, you touched a lot of our lives when you were here. And it's interesting because, when coaches come, and I've been fortunate enough to get along with just about everybody that has come through in my 37 years, but, some you get closer to than others. And I could tell, late in your career with the administration in East Carolina, I could tell some of the stress that you were under. And I knew firsthand that what was going on, as far as that goes. But, when you look back at your career, I mean, there's so many big wins and so many, some bowl games, the bowl games we had a chance to go to. And it's just, it was a great run, wasn't it?
Well, I enjoyed every minute of it, and with all situations, you have some beautiful times and tough times, some exciting times, and you learn from it. But, man, the exciting times we had there far outweigh anything that did not happen or was not an exciting time. Our relationship, yours, be me. I hope the fans know that I call you BB and be me. I don't care about calling you by your government name.
That's right.
That's it for life. So fans, I call them be me and BB. You guys, but we the excitement outweighs. You know what? And the kids outweigh all that. And we had some really, really great times, and the things that go through that you have to learn from tough times. That's a part of it, is learning from them. But nothing outweighs the positive. Nothing can outweigh the exciting times and exciting wins and experiences that we had together on the field and off. There were some exciting times there in Dowdy Ficklin and some exciting times on the road. But nothing beats those one-on-one times with the kids and just having that relationship that's built for life. And that's what I promised them when they came. This is for life. It's not for just a minute. It's for life.
We're taking your questions or comments on our Facebook Live feed, and someone just wrote in and said, you used to walk 14th Street and wave to everyone. When Coach Ruff walked 14th Street, it was like a parade, wasn't it? People beeping the horns and you're waving to everybody?
Yeah, it was different. It was fun. And then I would have some music on and or talking to Erlene or somebody, and the horns would blow, but you had to give them that wave. And that just, that became a daily ritual, I think, and then the neighborhoods, seeing the neighbors and the families walk past the school and up 14th and down really became a tradition, and it was fun. And it brings back memories, now that you mention it, a lot of great memories.
I tell you, the fact that you wrote the children's book and you would go to schools and read it, and I'll never forget that I was doing something one day. I get a text message from Bella at school, and she texts me about every day from school. She gets hold of her phone somehow, but she sent me a text. It was a picture of her and you with the Pirate Hook sign, and I thought to myself, well, Coach Ruff's reading at her school today, and she found him, and they got a picture taken together. So it was, and that's the kind of things that means so much to so many people.
Well, Bella's an angel, and I can remember I loved doing that, and that was a part of the service and a part of the experience. Being able to write the book, and to be able to share it with the schools in the area and with families and friends, and get a chance to. And I go back to my mom, who was a second grade teacher for a long time, and my dad, who was a middle school, 9th grade, and coach. Just that reading part, BB. And then Bella, her angel self, found me, and like her dad would do. And it was just great that day at school, and gave her a big rough hug and loved on her. And take this, Dad. I got Coach Ruff now.
She has horns to hold up her halo. You know that, right? All right.
Nah, there's no way.
Talk about your relationship a little bit with Lincoln Riley now, because obviously he was with you as offensive coordinator. Lincoln skyrocketed to the top of the college football coaching profession. He brought you to Oklahoma. You were there for a couple of years with Lincoln. Then I know the story. You came back to be closer to your dad, but how much do you keep up with Lincoln these days?
It's a daily and weekly thing. I've known Lincoln, BB, since he was 19 years old.
Man.
You know, like I've known Dave here since he was 24 years old, 23 years old. So I remember Lincoln and I met when he was a walk-on at Texas Tech, the student assistant where he made $0, a million zeros, and then he became a graduate assistant where he made like 500,000 zeros. You know what I mean? Nothing. And then he just hung in there and became a full-time, and, you know, our relationship is still great. You know, it goes from at one time where I was boss, and then he was boss, and then I think the mentorship and the big brother part is still there. I know it is, but we share back and forth right now. Wish him good luck. I'm always here for him, and I know he's there for me. And it was an enjoyable time to be with him and watch him develop and see him in that chair. And you can imagine that, BB. You've had a lot of your trainees and people under you move on to jobs, and to see them is like a proud papa, sort of like for you now.
Yeah.
Both now. It was the same thing watching Lincoln grow and watch him make decisions and handle an entire staff, organization, of Sooner Nation at a lot of times, and still handling it well and winning and accomplishing major things doing it. So we keep in touch, and with Caitlin and the girls, and just like we did before. And when I hired him out of East Carolina, they talked about him being too young. And I said, well, I got enough years for all of our staff.
That's right.
You know, having some youth is good, you know. And so I had nothing. And people call this too, BB. I tell you that Lincoln turned down 5 jobs that paid him double, triple, and quadruple what I could pay him. He told them no, to stay with us in East Carolina. He turned them down. And then when this last one came, and Bob Stoops called me on it, it was a no-brainer. I said, Bob called to ask me about him, talk to him. I go, yes, you got permission. Yes, you should take him, Bob. And when Lincoln made the move, it was a blessing because I knew he was due. But that's loyalty right there, you know. And it's not about the material thing; it's about the love that he had for what we were doing there, and for me personally, I think, and me for him. And so that love is still there right now. We text and go back and forth all the time, still.
And so now you've moved on. You're now at NC State with Dave Dorn. What are your what is your daily routine like? What are some of the things that you work on and work with Coach Dorn, because as a special assistant to the head coach?
Well, my office is our secretary, Natalie, is between his office and mine. And matter of fact, he came in this morning. He always has a seat here, and we talk each week, daily, about situations on the team or what I think about his opponent, what's my thought, the temperature of the team. Overall, I observe practice like I did as a head coach and make notes, mental notes, written notes on what I see. I talk to kids about life, about development, about achieving their personal goals, about reaching maximum potential on a daily basis. I am here for him. So the strategic part of a day-to-day in the rooms defensively, like I had for years, BB, of strategizing, I don't do that. It's more of an overall point of view made to coach, to players, and a lot of coaches still come by on the staff. Great coaches I have on the staff. Matter of fact, BB, I've coached against most of them as players, which makes me feel really, really old.
Yeah.
And then, or even in competition, you know, Ole Miss, when I was at Texas Tech, different places, Nebraska with Coach Beck and Tony Gibson, West Virginia. But we've coached against each other a lot. So I've known this entire staff. So the move was really a smooth move because I knew everyone, including Dave, for so long. And the kids on the team knew me. So, you know, it was a smooth transition. So the relationship that I have with Dave and with the youngsters, with the players, the guys, the boys, was a smooth transition, and it still is.
What do you do on game day then?
I'm observing the entire game. I'm behind it. I watch offense, defense, special team because I've observed it all week. In all those meetings to understand what the strategy, what the game plan is, and I watch the game plans unfold. And then at halftime, I'll share that with Dave. What I see from an outside point of view is with him. I've been in that seat he sits in.
Yeah. And
in that seat, and we talked about this. I've been in that seat, so my job is to make sure that seat is real comfortable for them. And what I see from that seat, from experience, this is year 41 for me, BB. You know what I mean? So I see a lot. And so I'm watching the game. I'm watching. I'm always behind. If you ever watch, I watch from end zone view and now video board view, which is like film. And I watch film all week long on the opponent. I watch practice and have game plans on what we plan on installing on offense, even special teams each week. So I watch it on the practice field, watch it on film. Then during the game, watch it. And when at halftime or in between, if I see some things that need to be mentioned to Dave, he and I will share those things. And but the relationship has been great, for me. I do miss the strategizing, but the relationship Dave and I have is really a remarkable one because he trusts me and I trust him, and we verified our trust, so works out good.
All right, take us to the temperature of this team in Raleigh right now. 27-21 winners in double overtime over 9th-ranked Clemson. First win for the Wolfpack over Clemson since 2011. What was it like for that game?
Well, of course it was a major game, big game against a perennial championship, ACC championship team. Dabo's done a great job there. I got a master's from Clemson, so I have a tie-in with Clemson. I got my master's, and I started college coaching at Clemson as a GA when I left Lafayette High School, so I've got a lot of tie-in there as well. But it was a big-time atmosphere game. The fans were phenomenal. Our sideline was phenomenal. And I tell you what, we went to the game expecting a 15-round heavyweight fight. We prepped our team on that the entire week. It's going to be a 15-round fight, heavy round fight, boxing match. And we'll get punched, we'll punch back. We'll punch, and then they get punched back. So you got to be ready for that ebb and flow. And we talked to them about being ourselves. We talked to them about playing complimentary football. And then we talked to the guys about this, BB, making routine plays, and then big-time players making big-time plays, and just hanging in there. And we did that. And after the game, they stormed the field. I said, well, I'm going to sit on this bench while they go on the field. I found a way to get out of there. I'm not that fast anymore. So
no,
but it was great. Yeah, no, he's a big boy.
I got you.
It was great. It was a great win, and it was exciting for the kids. And then in this business, you got to get ready for this week. Skip's bringing his team in here.
Yeah,
on Saturday. They'll be well coached, and they played well and should be 4-0 right now. They lost the last second a toss versus SMU, and had Mississippi State beat. So we know we're expecting a well-coached team, and so it never ends. But our rule of thumb is 24 hours, and that ended last night. So today we're on to the next one.
How much are you able to keep up with Pirate football on football weekends?
Of course I do. I think a lot of Mike and I are real close. I don't know if people know that or not, Coach Houston. And then I have DK, Donnie, and Trip, and then Dale on the staff. And then Miss Ann is still there in her role, but DK and I have known each other. I've known DK, BB, Donnie, longer than anyone I've known in coaching. That's a long time.
That is a long time.
In coaching. Yeah, when he was an assistant, I was a high school coach. And then, so you imagine that back in the early 80s.
Donnie says he's only 35 years old. How can that be?
Yeah, he's 35.
That's what he says.
35.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You tell DK said that. But no, he knows. But I do keep up with, and I think a lot of Coach Houston, and I know the kids. I know a lot of the kids on there. I remember some of the kids I know from recruiting, but I do keep up with them. It's my school. I went to school there. My daughter went. My wife got a master's from there. My sister-in-law, brother-in-law graduated from East Carolina. My niece graduated. My brother graduated from East Carolina. So I went to East Carolina, BB, at 17 years of age. I was a puppy. And so I grew up there. That's why I became who I am. And so I do keep up with them and wish them well.
Donnie's taking a lot of heat this year because I think what's happening is when the offense is clicking, it's really, really good. It just hasn't clicked very, it struggled for 2 games. We get into the Marshall game, and the fourth quarter, it clicked like you wouldn't believe. And then we get into, the game the other night, and games have their own personalities. The Pirates fell behind 14-0. They come back. They got it rolling 24-14. And I almost asked Coach Houston, sometimes you have to play not to lose. You don't mean to, but that's what, how it comes out. Offense didn't play very well at all in the second half, and, fans are a little bit upset. But Donnie's been doing this a long time, hasn't he?
Man, look, this is what please, Pirate fans, relax and still hold patience. And it's not easier said than done. It needs to be done because winning is winning, and it's changed over a period of time. And remember, it's all about the win, and it's not about how you do it. There's a lot of ways to do it. But for example, you asked about Lincoln. Lincoln had to win a tight game against West Virginia.
Yes, they did.
Doesn't matter. You won. You know what I mean? And you gotta. We as a staff, as coaches, we understand that. So there's a point where you gotta relax. And understand and celebrate and understand how hard winning is, BB. It is hard. So Donnie's been in a long time. He's really, really good at it. And a lot of times you don't know what or why he does. So you gotta trust, and you gotta be able to trust who's there. I trust Donnie, and I trust the staff, and be patient, man. Wins are hard, and you got to do all you can to get one. And remember, the other team practices too.
That's right.
The team coaches too. The other team has really good players too. So you just want to try to win the game. And I think I ask, not the man. I'm just asking. Just be patient. Donnie's a good coach. You trust me? Yeah. DK's a good coach. Mike Houston's a good football coach. So, take time. It takes time. And do you want to microwave it, or you want to build it brick by brick? You know what I mean, BB?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. You got to build it brick by brick. All right, Coach, so many people have asked me since the announcement came out, will you be able to be here for the induction for the Hall of Fame in November?
Yeah, we play, I think, Florida State that weekend.
Okay.
So I know I'll be there that Friday.
Good.
For sure. And then work out the way to get to Tallahassee for the next day. And but yeah, for sure that Friday. We're still talking about how to do that and what we're going to do and how to do it. But I plan on being there most definitely for that, along with Erlene and Olivia. Erlene and both of they plan on being there as well.
That sounds good. That's going to be a great weekend for East Carolina, for the entire program, and for it's a great Hall of Fame class headlined by former East Carolina coach Ruffin McNeill. Coach, thanks so much for your time today. We certainly appreciate it. Congratulations to Dave Dorn and the Wolfpack for that big win, 27-21 over Clemson, and we look forward to seeing you on that Friday night coming up in November.
BB, it always makes my day talking to you, brother. You're my friend, and you're the best in the business. You're a boat, brother, and. So I really enjoy talking to you every time we talk. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys soon.
I certainly appreciate you too. Love you, man. You're the best, and we miss you every day.
Love you more, BB. Love you more, man. Hey, hug Melissa and Bella for me, please.
Will do. Thanks so much. Coach Ruffin McNeill joining us on the Brian Bailey Show. We'll take a commercial break right now. We'll regroup. Steve Ellis, cornerbacks coach for East Carolina, gets us set for Pirate football against Tulane to open up American Athletic Conference play this weekend. Back with more on the Brian Bailey Show on this Monday after this.
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate fans, Derek Pizzeni from Carolina Wealth Management. Are you a fiduciary? That's a question every investor should ask their advisor. A fiduciary is an individual who acts in the best interest of a particular person or beneficiary. Is your advisor a fiduciary? You should know it's your money. At Carolina Wealth Management, we do things differently from other investment firms. To learn more about the benefits of working with a fiduciary advisor, visit mycarolinawealth.com. That's mycarolinawealth.com.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Kyle Gaines from Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Not only will you feature a great selection of pre-owned inventory for sale, but we'll also buy your vehicle even if you don't buy one from us. Drive a little, save a lot. Give us a call and make a short trip to Washington and let us buy your vehicle today. It is totally worth it. We also service all makes and models at our state-of-the-art service department. Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram between Greenville and Washington, and WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. Remember, drive a little, save a lot. Go Pirates.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
This is Xavier Smith, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
You gotta like that. Xavier Smith coming on like that. That's good stuff right there. All right, Victory Monday continues for East Carolina Pirates, knocking off Charleston Southern on Saturday night. Steve Ellis is the cornerbacks coach at East Carolina. He's got a guy in his room, Jaquan McMillan, that may be the MVP so far this season. McMillan had that game-saving pick in the win over Marshall in the final seconds up in Huntington, and he had the pick six against Charleston Southern that proved to be the game-winning score for East Carolina in that 31-28 win on Saturday night. So Coach Ellis joins us now. Coach, how are you on this Monday?
I'm great. How are you, Mr. Brian?
Not too bad, not too bad. We had Coach Ruff on, and we've got you on. We're talking a lot of football in this hour. When you look at this defense, I know you guys have given up, a lot of yards, especially the last couple of games, but, the way this defense goes about getting turnovers, and really when you look at the whole aspect of defensive football, those turnovers are really big.
Oh, yeah, something we really emphasize during this training camp. I think the guys really have bought into that philosophy that we want to go out and create chaos. We want to go out and create havoc, and most important, we've got to get turnovers. We want to give the football back to our offense so those guys go score touchdowns.
When you look at what Jaquan has been able to do, is it just the way he plays the game, the way he's around the football? Because it looks like to me, in all the years I've watched football, especially at East Carolina, there are certain players that have what they call a nose for the football. That good things happen, fumbles, interceptions, and Jaquan, man, those are two huge plays.
Right now he's playing at a very high level, and the thing about Jaquan is he has a unique competitive curiosity about him. Every time you see Jaquan, he always on his iPad watching the opponent's tape, and actually on that play against Charleston Southern, we worked on that play during the week. We came back on the sideline on the third play of the game. They actually ran that same play. And he said on the sideline, Coach, I think I got a read on this play. And lo and behold, the start of the second half, we ran the same play. He ended up getting a pick six, and it was great for us.
Yeah, Coach Houston kind of referred to that and said it was a great call by you and Blake Harrell on that sideline. Take us through the X's and O's. Is it a formation you guys see that you think that play's coming? Because he obviously was in the playbook for Charleston Southern because he stepped right in front of that baby, and that was as easy a pick six as you can get.
On the course of a week, just trying to find tendencies. The receiver splits, the running back sets, where the depth of the quarterback is, behind the center, all those things that ties into a certain play, and you try to watch as much film as you can. And once the game starts, you kind of get a feel for what's going on, getting certain tendencies here and there. And that certain play, that certain call, Coach Harrell did a phenomenal job of seeing it in the box, and he made the call down, and we related to Jaquan, and we talked about that during that halftime break, and lo and behold, we got a pick, and it was a crucial turnover and a pick six for us.
Yeah, it really was. And it really, at the time, we all thought it would be a blowout after that. Didn't turn out to be that because, Charleston Southern, let's give them some credit now. They came to town, and especially in that first half, I mean, as defensive coaches, you guys had to be thinking, like, what in the world is going on?
That's the thing of football. You got to come out. You got to come out ready to go. And that's the great thing about this game, that anybody can win any Saturday. And luck for us, we had a chance to win that game, but it's a learning experience. time you get a chance to go out there and play a game, you try to take learning experiences and teachable moments for our guys. And I think those guys really took this learning experience, and it should pay dividends for us just from an altitude standpoint go forward throughout this season.
We'll talk about Tulane coming up in just a minute. Let's talk about your career a little bit, Coach Ellis. You came to East Carolina from South Florida. You were at Middle Tennessee for a decade. But what did you see in Mike Houston and East Carolina and Blake Harrell that you really wanted to come to Greenville?
The first thing you start with Coach Houston is he's a great leader of men. And that's one thing as a coach, you always want to be assistant on a coach that's a great leader of men. He's a great X's and O's coach, a highly motivated individual. And the great thing about him, he's a great person, great family. So I want to be a part of this. I always want to be a part of a coach that's a winner, and they're trying to lead men to be the best they can possibly be. Coach Harrell, I just love his style. I love the defense philosophy. We have the same core beliefs, what we think what defense should look like, and it was just a great opportunity for me to come here. And I'm just so fortunate to be a part of this East Carolina family.
Steve Ellis, cornerbacks coach at East Carolina, joining us for about 20 minutes or so on this Victory Monday for East Carolina. Coach, take us through what you guys do and what you do personally on this staff. You get the win on Saturday night. Maybe you get a chance to spend a little time with your family. But then you guys are back at it on Sunday. Take us through what you guys do on Sunday, Monday, and then through the week coming up as you prepare for Tulane.
Oh, yeah, you're fortunate we get the win on Saturday. You get a chance to celebrate, you get a chance to rejoice, and, we got a 24-hour rule. We come back in on Sunday morning, we get a chance to grade the tape. We get together as a staff and talk about the things how we can improve, things we can do better, things that we like, and we get the kids that evening, and we get a chance to go through the film with them, because you want to give them a chance to see it and digest it. Hey, this is what we did well. These are things we can improve on. These are things that some opponents may be able to attack us later on in the future. We have a practice that evening, and for us here, which is great, when we win, we have winner's dinner. And so, man, you got some good food that we have for the guys to eat, because, again, winning is hard. When you win, you have to celebrate. And then on Mondays, we just dive into the next opponent, and we get in early and we stay late, and we just try and get a game plan to put those guys in the best position that they can be successful. And we get a chance to come back on Tuesday, we get a chance to have a practice, meet with the players, and we study just working out the kinks in the game plan, make sure guys are in a position and they understand their next opponent. And you try to give those guys as much tendencies about their opponent as possible, so those guys can play fast and they can play physical. And on Wednesday, the same thing kind of happens. On Thursday, you got the game plan in, you kind of polishing up, and it should be a sharp, crisp Thursday practice. Friday, you have the walkthroughs, guys are on point. Then Saturday, you stay in the hotel, you get ready to play, and you kick that ball off, and it is game time.
Yeah, and then you do it all over again, don't you? You go through the games, and then it's just a cycle in football. And I've said this so many times through the years that once you kick this thing off with fall camp in August, man, it's just an absolute blur. Hard to believe that you guys are 4 games into the season, on to game number 5, 2-2 on the year. As Coach Houston said after the game on the coaches show, they said, yeah, we would like to be 3-1. Heck, we'd like to be 4-0. But 2-2 after starting 0-2, you guys have bounced back nicely, and now you get a chance to start American Athletic Conference play. What are some of the things that you saw on tape, without giving anything away, but some of the things you saw on tape against Charleston Southern that you guys want to get back on the practice field with and really hone in on?
One of the things that we wanted to get back to is just that intensity, that toughness that Coach Houston preaches, to go out there and play the game like it's supposed to be played. We definitely want to improve tackling. That's something that's, throughout the course of football, especially with basketball. The football's on the grass right now. He's throwing the ball across the yard. Get back to open field tackle. Get back to communicating. And the biggest thing, get back to playing the defense that we know we can play here in East Carolina. And so we had a really short practice yesterday. The guys are happy we won, but they know the performance that we had Saturday against Charleston Southern just was up to the standard that we want to be at. And so it was a good practice. The guys were energized. They were ready to go, and I just can't ready to kick this ball off on Saturday.
That sounds good. Steve Ellis, cornerbacks coach at East Carolina, is our guest. We're going to take a quick commercial break right now. We'll come back, then we'll wrap things up with Coach Ellis as we continue on this Victory Monday on the Brian Bailey Show right after this.
Angus Grill is the premier location for the best burgers, cheesesteaks, and brisket sandwiches around. Join us and experience original flavors, quality service, and an upbeat environment. We've got 5 outstanding locations in eastern North Carolina, in Winterville near Pitt Community College, in Wilmington on 4th Street, and 3 locations right here in Greenville, East 10th Street near the Walmart, Jarvis Street in Uptown, and in our newest location on Statensburg Road near the hospital at the former CPW's location. It's the best burger around. Angus Grill.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar and Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
Seared Chop House is Greenville's newest restaurant and the city's only true chop house. We combine a remarkable menu with an unrivaled atmosphere. Seared, a quality-driven experience highlighting a thoughtful approach to locally sourced ingredients and hearty, flavor-rich cuisine. We're firing up the grill at Seared, Greenville's only true chop house. Come see us, Fire Tower Road at Bells Fork or SearedChophouse.com.
Watch our prices fall at Bostic Sugg Furniture. All the gotta-get-it-now looks and styles are in. We have what you need to add warmth and beauty to any room. Sofas, sectionals, and motion furniture from the best brands. Lazy Boy, Bassett & Rowe, all in stock with huge in-stock savings. And the more you buy, the more you save. Up to $720 back, plus great savings on Serta and Restonic mattresses. So watch our prices fall at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Bram Anderson from Tiebreakers, and we are excited to announce that we will be opening our second location in Winterville soon. Right now, our growing company is hiring team members for all positions for both locations. We need managers, bartenders, servers, cooks, and dishwashers. If you're looking for an opportunity to be on a fun and exciting restaurant team, then come see us today. Apply in person at Tiebreakers at Bells Fork. Check us out at tiebreakersnc.com.
Your power's out. There's a water leak. What do? For these and other utility-related emergencies, you need service, and you want it fast. There are 2 things you can do to get the quickest response if you're a GUC customer. First, you can call the hotline at 1-855-767-2482 and report any utility-related emergency. That number is also on GUC.com. Or second, you can give GUC your phone number. The hotline process is quickest when their account records have your current phone number. Service you can count on. Greenville Utilities.
This is Amanda Houston, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Go Pirates!
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back on this Monday. Steve Ellis, cornerbacks coach at East Carolina, has joined us to talk about the Pirate win over Charleston Southern and the game coming up this week, East Carolina and the Green Wave of Tulane. And Coach Ellis, I think most of us saw the Oklahoma-Tulane game to start the year, and Tulane really played really well in that game. But since then, Tulane hasn't had a whole lot of success, have they?
Well, you start off with a team like OU. That's one of the top teams in the country, and then they battle them. And when you watch the tape, Tulane should have won that game. But hey, 1-3. When you watch the tape, they better than a 1-3 football team. They have a really good quarterback. Does a really good job pushing the football down the field. Big physical offensive line that they do a great job of moving people, and they got excellent skill on the perimeter.
We talked about Jaquan a lot. Talk about some of the other guys in your room and what you're looking for out of those guys.
I'll start off with Malik Flynn. He plays outfield corner. He's doing an outstanding job for us. Malik is one of those guys that he truly loves football. And a lot of people think about the cornerback position. They think about a guy being Hollywood, with the smoke, coming from the flames. But it's really the impact of the guys that he has on the other guys in the room and on the football team. By his work ethic, by his discipline, by his leadership. Those are the qualities that Malik brings to the table, and we were definitely excited about him. The other guys playing well is Nolan Johnson, and he's been playing really well up to this point. And our main focus right now is keep those guys to keep growing, keep learning, and keep continuing to play at a very high level.
Do you work? I know you guys work day in and day out on tackling, but have you been pretty happy with your guys in your room with their tackling? Because they have a different type of tackling they have to do. They're tackling in space. I mean, they're out there. Guys are running free, and they've got to make a tackle, and they've got to get it down.
I think you guys any football coach who's always say that there's room for improvement, and we consistently want to get better at tackling. And the main thing is that those guys want to catch passes. They're spreading the football out across the field. Our main objective is make sure there's no yards out to catch. Let's get the football down right now. And so we always practice, wrapping. We got to roll guys because of the cornerback position. You're not the biggest guys. And so you hitting those running backs that are 215, 220 pounds. So we're consistently working on tackling in space and also just wrapping guys with a great job of leveraging the football, shoulder to leg tackle, roll tackling guys to get them on the ground.
As a defensive backs coach, how hard is it to teach a defensive back to turn their head around when the ball is in the air? Because we see that on the high school level, the collegiate level, the pro level. I mean, and some guys get it done, and some guys, it's to me, it's got to be one of the most difficult things because you're trying to cover somebody, and that's when you get in trouble with interference.
That's one of the hardest things to do in the game of football. You're chasing a guy, so you're always reacting. And then you watch him when he turns, you're supposed to turn to find the football. And that's one thing we have to consistently work at every single day because that's not a normal body function to run and then turn and look for a ball the opposite way. And that's one of the toughest things that you go back to the beginning of football. That's a challenge that every defensive back coach is constantly having to work on, constantly having to drill. But it takes reps and reps and reps. And some guys just have a natural feel for it, and some guys really don't. But again, especially all those back shoulder fades that offenses are throwing right now in the game of football is definitely a challenge for us in the back end.
Yeah, those offenses will cheat, won't they? And back shoulder fades and stuff like that. That shouldn't be legal, should it?
5 years ago, people throwing back shoulder fades, in the red zone. And now, 5 years from now, they pushing the football, throwing back shoulder fades in the middle of the field. And so, the objective is always stay on top of the receiver. But now, if you're in the middle of the field, they're throwing back shoulder fades. And so, that's a definitely tough, they're definitely challenging. And also, with the push off, that's making it even more challenging.
Are guys taught on the field, maybe the bench players and even the guys that are on the defensive players on the field, that when that ball is thrown, you hear a lot, balls out, balls out. Is that part of the play on defense? You're hoping that, hey, now the corner knows the ball's out and he's got to start turning his head around pretty soon?
I know it's on the outside line. I'm the main one yelling ball, ball, ball.
Yeah.
I think the guys' natural reaction, hey, when the ball is out, everybody holler ball. Just give that guy another alert that, hey, that ball, is coming. And we try to teach those guys, hey, when his eyes go back, receiver's eyes come back, my eyes must go back. And try to put those guys in a more advantageous way to break that ball up and hopefully Jaquan's position get a chance to get an interception.
When you graded the tape against Charleston Southern, what were some of the things, who were some of the players that graded well?
I think obviously we get a chance to grade the tape. Jaquan played well. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, you ask him, he will say, Coach, I might have should have had another interception opportunity. And we always trying to strive to do more. We're always trying to strive to do better. And I thought he played really well. Malik Fleming had a really nice game. Our biggest thing right now is just continue to improve, continue to grow. Every experience is a learning experience. Every opportunity is a teachable moment. And so that's what we're just trying to hone into those guys that, hey, we want to play at a high level every time we step on that football field.
All right, let's take it full circle and now go back to Tulane. The Green Wave comes to town, 3:30 kickoff this week at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. What's it going to take for the Pirate defense to stop this Tulane offense and give the Pirates a chance to win this game?
Well, one thing is always for football, we got to stop the run. They got three phenomenal tailbacks. They do a really good job of running the football. They have great lateral vertical movement. We have to get pressure on the quarterback. We give him time to throw the football. He does a great job pushing the football. The OC there, Chip Long, does a good job of using 53rd of the football field to spread the football around to all their skill guys. So we have to do a great job tackling, a great job disguising our coverage, and most importantly, we got to get out to that quarterback and force some turnovers.
Have you noticed that guys are a little more fired up? They got 2 wins under their belts in the last 2 weeks. Plus, you get a chance in the American Athletic Conference, and everybody's 0-0 for the most part. So you get a chance to open up conference play, and it's anybody's race. We can all look at the preseason predictions and look at the teams we think are going to be really good, like Cincinnati, and they've proven to be really good. But you look at everybody else. Every chance you get to go out there and win a football game, and to place yourself in the American. And if you get to the 6 wins, you get a chance to go to a bowl game. Everything is right out in front of these guys.
All the goals Coach Houston has for us, all the expectations, all the standards, stay right there on the table. And the great thing about this opponent is, only thing you have to do is turn the tape on. When you get a chance to watch those guys against the University of Oklahoma, you're playing against a really good football team. And so, again, it's like you said, it's the first conference game. Everybody's 0-0 right now. What a great way to start this Saturday off with a win and give us momentum going to the conference play against Tulane.
And fans always on offense like to talk about the big plays. On defense, they like to talk about blitzes and in this defense and sending people after the quarterback. And I would say, as a defensive back coach, and I know this is true, the more pressure you get on a quarterback, the easier it is for your guys to do their jobs. But you've got to get pressure on that quarterback, don't you?
It's one of those deals now. You look at all the, 7-on-7, for the quarterbacks in the summer, those guys throw pitch and catch all throughout the summer. And if you don't rattle his cage or get him off his track, it can be a long day for you. And we're trying to do our best, defensive staffs, to put package together so we can get off to that quarterback and really try to make them one-handed though they throwing the football. And one way to throw an interception is put that ball in the air when it's in the most vulnerable position. So,
let's rattle that cage. Come up this weekend, East Carolina and Tulane. Coach Ellis, thanks so much for your time today. I know the time is precious for you guys on a Monday because of you getting set for the week ahead in practice and trying to get the game plan together and that kind of thing. So we certainly appreciate your time. And we've really enjoyed watching Jaquan McMillan do what he's been able to do the last couple of weeks, and we wish you much success down the road. Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you. Go Pirates.
All right, Steve Ellis, cornerbacks coach at East Carolina, joining us on this Victory Monday for East Carolina. We'll come back and we'll wrap up this edition of the Brian Bailey Show right after this.
When your family gathers around a shakaroni from Papa John's, you're sharing more than extra cheese and pepperoni. You're sharing scholarships, meals, and laughter. Because $1 from every shakaroni goes to charity. That's pizza with a purpose.
Hey, Pirate fans, the Shakaroni Pizza is back, and only for $13. Plus $1 from every purchase goes to charity. The Shakaroni is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh, she's doing great.
Oh yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Here is your ice-cold Pepsi Zero Sugar, sir. Oh, thanks. Wanna watch the game? Ooh, little sports ball on a Sunday afternoon. Don't mind if I do. Hey, did we win? It sounds like we won. It's still the first quarter. I must be lucky. People say that about me. Tough break on that free throw there. Shouldn't be doing that. Dude, we're watching football. Come on.
For everyone who spent the entire game explaining the entire game, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Hey, Pirate fans, Derek Pizzeni from Carolina Wealth Management. Are you a fiduciary? That's a question every investor should ask their advisor. A fiduciary is an individual who acts in the best interest of a particular person or beneficiary. Is your advisor a fiduciary? You should know it's your money. At Carolina Wealth Management, we do things differently from other investment firms. To learn more about the benefits of working with a fiduciary advisor, visit mycarolinawealth.com. That's mycarolinawealth.com.
Hey Pirate fans, your one-stop shop for all your tailgate essentials is Shimmer Boutique. Need some purple and gold to wear? Shimmer has a great selection of clothing for men, women, and children. Need some shoes? Shimmer has the best selection of Hey Dudes around. Need a cooler for tailgating? Shimmer has you covered with a huge selection of Yeti and outdoor accessories. Shimmer, just 1 minute from the stadium on Greenville Boulevard behind Starbucks and in Winterville and Jacksonville. Find us online at shimmerboutiqueonline.com. Go Pirates!
This is Brian Bailey, host of The Brian Bailey Show, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back to our show. But you didn't know you were listening to The Brian Bailey Show until that Brian Bailey character jumped in there and told you were listening to The Brian Bailey Show.
Sometimes you got to let the people know.
Sometimes you got to let them know. Clip Brock on the other end. Behind the glass, J.H. Rose has a huge football game coming up tomorrow night. The Rampants taking on the Cardinals of Jacksonville. And this game's got all kinds of backdrop to it, in my opinion. I mean, you got Bo Williams coming to town. He used to run around the sidelines as a boy with his dad. Chip Williams was the head coach at Rose. His dad was also the head coach at New Bern, so he'd come back for that. You've got him bringing a Jacksonville team that's undefeated. Jacksonville knocked off New Bern on Friday night with a touchdown in the final minute. They tacked on the 2-point conversion on a great play. It's just going to be a great atmosphere for football. Unfortunately, it's going to be on a Tuesday night, but hopefully everybody can get out and see the game. It should be a lot of fun.
Tuesday night lights.
Yeah, Tuesday night lights. I think it's the only game in town, so it's the only thing really that's going on. So that should be.
Once we get to this point in the season, Bailey, when you're in conference play, you can't reschedule later on. Like, you got to get them in when you can get them in, right?
You've got to get, if you want to play them, you got to get them in, and they certainly want to play this one. Rose started 0-3 on the year, but since then they won 50-12 over Northside Jacksonville. And then they won 42-0 over South Central.
I was out on my deck Friday night, and the South Central band sounded great. I could hear the drums and everything, but the game didn't go so well for the Falcons.
Yeah, it did. And that's not Northside Jacksonville, that's Southwest Onslow. They beat Southwest Onslow 50-12 and then beat South Central 42-0. So they've outscored the opposition 92-12 in their last two games. Southwest Onslow is not having a typical Southwest Onslow type year. South Central, I thought that would be a much closer game, but J.H. Rose came to town. Michael Allen played perhaps his best game. Somebody told me they thought, I should have asked Coach Ruff about Michael Allen. He's committed to North Carolina State. Someone had said maybe he lost a step, maybe he wasn't quite as good. And man, let me tell you something, he can fly. He really put on a show against South Central. But that game, Rose in Jacksonville, 7 o'clock kickoff tomorrow night, and that is a huge game. Jacksonville knocking off New Bern, and so the Cardinals in the driver's seat right now. If they win that game, they'll be the number one team in our Touchdown Friday top 9. But that's on Tuesday night. Then on Friday night, Rose should take care of business against Northside Jacksonville. That's when they play Northside Jacksonville. And in South Central and Conley, they have to make the trip to Craven County. South Central plays at New Bern. That'll be very difficult. Conley plays at Havelock, and that'll be a very difficult assignment. Though I think Conley has a better shot against Havelock than South Central does at New Bern, because New Bern comes into that game after losing that heartbreaker to Jacksonville, and they'll be fired up. So we'll see how that one goes, but we'll see how the rest of the season pans out. North Pitt has a big game with Southwest Edgecombe. In fact, we're thinking about making that our Touchdown Friday game of the week, just because North Pitt's 4-1.
They're coming off a blowout win last Thursday.
Yes, right? They played on Thursday. That's the game that I think I told this story with Morgan Ehlers, but I saw on Twitter they might be playing, so I called the school, and whoever's at the school with North Pitt said, no, we're not playing until Friday night. As Melissa said, and she's so smart, she said, why didn't you call the coach? I didn't have the coach's number, but let me tell you something what Brian Bailey won't do next time. He won't call the lady in the office. He'll call the coach, and he'll find out.
He's got other things to worry about instead of football, maybe.
Yeah. So I guess someone was in the dunce corner or something, and they couldn't figure out when the game was. But we'll promise to get North Pitt coming up this week. Pirates and the Tulane Green Wave 3:30 kickoff. That gets you guys on the air at 11:30 a.m. How was the pregame and postgame this past week?
Pregame was great. Postgame was
Yeah, kind of like the second half.
Coach Ruff said earlier in the show, there's no such thing as an ugly win, but if there is, we saw one Saturday.
Yeah, I think so. And I asked Coach Houston that is it harder sometimes when you have a lead and you're trying to protect the football, though the Pirates did throw a couple of picks in the second half, but it was just an ugly half. And I think what happened, and this is just psychologically speaking, it was almost like the Pirates thought they were going to go in and win the game easily. They found out in the first quarter they weren't. They found out in the second quarter they could move the football at will. They could do what they wanted to do. So they kind of took they thought, hey, we got this. Then you get the pick six. Then you got it. And then nothing happened after that. That was not a good half of football.
2-2.
2-2.
That's the positive side.
2-2, and that is the positive side, and that's the way we'll look at it. This is a huge game with Tulane, though, because if you can get this win, you're 3-2, and then you're heading to the bulk of your schedule, and you still got bowl opportunities.
They'll have a winning record this late in the season for the first time since Ruffin McNeill was the coach.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Ruff was 42-34 in his years at East Carolina. Took the Pirates to 4 bowls. We need to get back to a bowl, and that, of course, is the goal. All right, wrapping things up, I want to thank head coach Ruffin McNeill. He'll be in the Hall of Fame at East Carolina, and the induction ceremony is coming up in November. Also want to thank Steve Ellis, cornerbacks coach at East Carolina, getting us set for the Pirates and Green Wave. We'll see you back here next week on The Brian Bailey Show.
This has been The Brian Bailey Show, brought to you by
Angus Grill, Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, The Gavigan Agency, Greenville Auto World, Papa John's, Pepsi, Seared Chop House, Taft and Hagler, Tiebreakers, PMS Builders, and The Rick House.
Join us next time for another edition of The Brian Bailey Show, exclusively on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM.